Hello and welcome, my friends. I'm so glad you're here today. Grab a tea, take a breath, and settle in because over the next maybe an hour, I will see, maybe it will be shorter, we're going to dive deep into something that touches all of us: our skin, our hair, and our nails. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, why does my skin feel dull? Why is my hair thinning? Why are my nails so brittle when I'm doing everything right? You're not alone. And here is the thing. What's happening on the outside, it's almost always a reflection of what's happening on the inside. Today, I'm going to explore the connection from the nutrients your body craves to the role of your thyroid to the surprising impact of stress, and yes, even how the carbs you eat make or break your skin, hair, and nail health. So get comfortable. Imagine we're sitting together in the cozy space, just having a real conversation about your health, your beauty, and your vitality from the inside out. All right, let's begin. I'm a holistic nutritionist. My name is Janetta, and all the podcasts what I'm doing is for education purposes only. I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing anything. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm not making any diagnosis. Nothing like that. It's all out of my scope. So all is just for educational purposes. I'm doing that kind of like give away to all of you who are interested in the holistic nutrition. So let's start with the basic today. What are your skin, hair, and nails made of? Because before we can talk about nourishing your skin, hair, nails, we need to understand what they actually are. So your skin is the largest organ in your body. It's only a few millimeters thick, but it's your shield, protecting you from chemicals, microbes, the sun's bad UV rays, because the skin loves sunlight, so don't avoid it at all, and or physical damage. Beneath the surface, it's made of layers with proteins like collagen and elastin, giving it strength and elasticity. Now, your hair. That's also made of protein, specifically keratin. Each strand has layers. The cuticle on the outside, the cortex in the middle, and sometimes a medulla deep inside. And your nails? They also keratin. Strong little shields made of hardened cells growing from something called the nail matrix. Here is a simple way to think about it. Your skin, hair, and nails are like the exterior of your house. If the walls are cracking or the paint is peeling, it's usually a sign of what's happening with the foundation underneath. So pause for a second. Look at your nails. Maybe even run your hand through your hair. What story is your body trying to tell you? Because what we see on the outside is a messenger of what's happening on the inside. Especially the skin, what you see outside is usually the last stage of that messaging, like messengers from inside of your body. Inside of your body is kind of screaming, gives you the signal something's going on. You're not listening. Okay, let's show you what I needed. So it's going to show up on your skin, that it's kind of visible. You can notice that. So don't freak out if anything else happening on your skin, nails, or hair. It's just a signal from your body that needs help. And it will be a little bit harder to figure out what is the cause, the root cause, because it's kind of the last stage. So you need to go deeper and deeper and deeper to investigate the real root cause. So always listen to your body since the small signals you get. So now, that we know these tissues are made of keratin, collagen, elastin. What do they all have in common? Protein. Think of protein like the bricks and mortar for your body. They're really building blocks, the amino acids in protein. So if you're repairing drywall at home, you wouldn't use glass or paper, you would use drywall. Same with your body. If you want strong hair, radiant skin, and tough nails, you need the raw materials to build them. Most people simply don't get the enough protein, or they don't digest it well. For healthy skin and hair repair, you need about 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight. So that's around 70 to 80 grams a day for the average person. Now let's make this practical. Where do you get it? Meat, poultry, fish, eggs, dairy. Bone broth is amazing. This is the gold. It's rich in collagen and those amino acids, glycine, proline, lysine, name it. They don't just build your skin. They calm your stress response, balance metabolism, and strengthen your joints too. And don't forget foods like liver. Yes, liver, which is loaded with vitamin A and biotin. I cannot express enough how liver is something, it's another gold like bone broth, full of nutrients, full of bioavailable nutrients. It's so simple. These days, we don't need to cook it. We don't need to even buy it. Just get that in capsule, in freeze-dried form from really, really good company that they have great facility and they're using the liver from grass-fed, grass-finished, regenerative farmed cows or bison. Or if you want chicken, but the beef bison are amazing. And I have to say the bison liver, if you never had that, bison liver, it's it's smoother. So it doesn't have the sandy texture. So when you eat it, you don't have kind of grinding your teeth. It's not happening with the bison liver. So if you want liver to try to cook that and so I can handle liver cook as a pate only, just salt and a lot of butter I'm adding. That's it. But bison. So that's the recommendation how to eat actually raw as a raw liver as a food. But if you really don't want to go this way, you have the option freeze dried grass-fed grass-finished liver, beef or bison. Get it? It's usually encapsulated, has one ingredient which is gelatin, and we need it too, gelatin. It's really good for our joint, again, hair, nails, skin. So grab that and take it in capsule. No issue with that. It's actually food. It's not supplement at all. So let me share a quick story. A client of mine came in exhausted, complaining about hair falling out by the handful in the shower. She was living on salads, toast, and coffee, so she thought she was eating well. Hardly any protein. We bumped her protein up with eggs, cottage cheese, bone broth, and some liver. And within 2 months, her hair stopped shedding, her nails grew strong, and she said her skin looked younger. So ask yourself, are you giving your body the raw material it needs to repair itself? Or are you asking it to build a house without bricks? And be honest with yourself. If you're complaining about losing your hair, thinning hair, shedding, and so on, be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? You will find it. You don't need anybody for it. So, of course, it's not just if you eat salad, yeah, As a snack, it's perfect. It's not a meal at all. And protein, if you add some chicken, it's not good because you delay the protein digestion if you mix that with the veggie or fruit. So veggie and fruit always on its own separately. Don't mix that. Food combining is very important if you have issue with the digestion. So if you think that your digestion is slower and it's really sitting your meal too long in your stomach, that's the indigestion. You need to do the food combining and see how it goes. Or take the digestive enzymes or bile salts with your meals. That's going to help with the digestion. It will be faster. But food combining is very important if you have issue with digestion. That's for sure. So just a little advice on the side. So how test and treat your thyroid, because that's linked into it too, right? So let's talk about one of the biggest hidden culprits when it comes to poor skin, thinning hair or brittle nails, your thyroid. So that little butterfly-shaped gland in your neck is to command center for your metabolism. Its main job is to give your cells the energy to function, to repair, and to stay alive. When your thyroid is sluggish, even just a little, your body cannot produce enough energy to regenerate tissues. So that's why dry skin, hair loss, and weak nails are classic signs of hypothyroidism. Here is the tricky part. Many people are told their thyroid is normal based on blood tests, but they still have the symptoms. That's because the lab ranges are too wide, and it's with everything. So blood tests are not 100% accurate at first, and because the ranges are too wide, it's kind of because the population is huge, so they cannot do it actually, it must be wide. It's like iron and all this stuff. They are really, between, like iron is between 20, 100, and they think it's normal. It's not. So always check when you have the blood test, always check when it's closer to the lower end or the top one. So when it's, for example, like the iron 2200, so always asking, what is your number? And they saying 30. It's on the lower end. So we need to do something about it. And if it is on a higher end, then it's like, slow down. If you're supplementing, stop. Or something with liver, right? Or some B vitamins can actually alterate the iron level. So the same is with the thyroid blood test. So when you do the blood test, always look at that the same way. When it's somewhere in the middle, it could be okay, but again, everybody's different. You might need a little bit higher. Somebody is fine with a little bit lower. They don't lose their hair. Nothing's going on. So it's because it's not just one factor. Thyroid is important, but it's just one factor of the issue. Okay, so don't take it that it's only one thing that's causing that. No, it's not. It's more complex. So what do? First, make sure you're getting the nutrients your thyroid needs. Iodine, which you can find in seaweed, cod, scallops, even dairy. You would be surprised how much iodine it's in dairy, especially grass-fed, grass-finished, especially the ones when you have from Switzerland or when you have from New Zealand or somewhere that is by the sea. Because all the ocean or sea mist, it's going on the grass, it's going on the cow, and then they absorb that. So that's why I like the stuff, especially grass-fed butter. I'm buying only when it's from New Zealand. And I'm getting even iodine from there. So I'm really glad. And I think you can buy it quite everywhere. So get that. Then your thyroid for sure love selenium, and it's easy to get it actually. You can get it from meat, no issue. But I have to say the seafood has a lot of selenium. I believe the how it's like the fish or not fish, the seafood that I don't like. I cannot remember. I cannot remember now. But the seafood generally has a lot of selenium. So if you like seafood, grab that. But if you don't like seafood, and the best option for me, like generally what I recommend, just grab the Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts has so much selenium that they recommend if you have issue with thyroid, it should be 2-3 a day. If you don't, just one. If you want to prevent, just one Brazil nut a day. And when I was taking the beef organs in capsules, I actually found out the company that I was taking. They gave me the nutrition like chart, and I actually saw how much selenium it's from liver, heart, spleen, and kidneys. And I was counting all these, and then I went and checked how much selenium it's one Brazil nut. It was the same. It was the same. I swear. I swear it was the same. So I was saying, if I was recommending somebody the beef organs, I was like, and they told me I'm vegetarian. Okay, that's fine. Just grab one Brazil nut and you get the same amount. But because Brazil nut, it's plant, it's not that bioavailable. We don't absorb much. So we absorb like 10 to 15% from that. On the other side, from beef organs, we absorb like 90%. So that's why it's good to take, even if you don't have issue, take 2 to 3 Brazil nuts a day. And then you would be closer to that number that you get from beef organs. As you know me, I'm kind of researching everything, comparing. And so I love the comparison, especially between the plants and so on and the beans. But the plants, yeah, you don't absorb much. So that's why it's the same number, but good options for sure. We are like, that's perfect. Then vitamin A, which helps convert T4 to T3, the active thyroid hormone. When do we find vitamin A the most? Liver. The liver has so much vitamin A. Like seriously, so much. So again, I'm getting that from liver, that eating liver. And if I want, if I don't have liver, like for food, for my breakfast, I'm taking capsules. Then you're getting vitamin A from eggs. Why not? Right? It has the precursor to vitamin A, so the body will convert it to vitamin A. Just let the body do the job. No, we don't need to supplement all these things because it's synthetic usually, and the body doesn't need the active forms. The body is here for us to make the active forms from the vitamins and even proteins and so on, everything. That's why we have it. So let the body do the job. That's fine. But vitamin A, of course, if you eat plants a lot, like everything what it's orange or red, has a lot of vitamin A, not vitamin A, but has the beta carotene, and that's different ones. So there is like a longer process to get the retinol and then vitamin A. So it's better to take it from liver. It's really the easiest way in capsule. 6 capsules a day and you're good to go. So I wouldn't worry about it. But there is so many options how to get all these essential nutrients, iodine, selenium, vitamin A for your thyroid from food. it's super easy. So don't be afraid of that. It's really, we have the source, and it's cheaper, and it's good for your body, not like supplements. So just as important, avoid the thyroid blockers. That's for sure. So things like excess fluoride and chlorine in tap water, or bromine in baked goods, even veggie oils, canola, soybean, sunflower, grapeseed. They interfere with your thyroid's ability to do its job. So unfortunately, I'm in the area that in Calgary area, and they started to add fluoride now to our water. I have good filter, but on the faucet, I have kind of like, okay, it's probably working somehow, not 100% for sure, but for drinking, I have really good filter. But why do they do that? Because they know very well what's causing that. So veggie oils, that's a big, big no. Look at on YouTube, all the videos, what you're going to see how it's made. You're actually eating petroleum, gasoline. I'm sorry. This is so toxic stuff that shouldn't be in your diet at all. Bromine in baked goods, again, it's really, really bad for you. So avoid all these, the highest like toxic compounds that unfortunately are usually added. So if we're going to eat what we're supposed to eat most of the time, we wouldn't have that. So, but sometimes we cannot control that, like when they add a fluoride to our water, how can I control it? We really try to fight against that. But unfortunately, it happened. So should I move somewhere where it's not? We can do it. Why not? It's our health. And I would do a lot for my health for sure. But yeah, sometimes we cannot control that. But do your best. I have to say, I once had a client who struggled with dry skin and hair loss for years, and she drank plain tap water, cooked everything in canola oil, and ate almost no seafood. By simply swapping to filtered water, using butter and olive oil, and adding seaweed snacks a few times a week, her hair started growing back. Sometimes the simplest shifts unlock the biggest result. That's why we need to be aware what is happening in our environment, in our house, actually, right? So just be mindful. Be really aware what you have in your food, in your environment, and etc. That's really just about that. So, what about the carbs? I know that is always the question. So, all right, let's shift gears, because another huge piece of the puzzle is the carbs. Now, don't roll your eyes just yet. Carbs have been demonized, but the truth is that skin, hair, nails actually need like the healthy carbohydrates. To me, healthy carbohydrates are the fruit. That's for me, and only kind of like berries, not even the other stuff like bananas and so. No, that's just sugar. But berries, if you eat, it's really, very good. The carbohydrates, because it's usually if you buy some fruit, it should be wild, organic, and they have a lot of antioxidants and polyphenols, which is great. So that's why I'm not against that. Just eat that. Berries, it's fine. Eat it seasonally, and if it is winter, get actually frozen one, which sometimes has actually more nutrients than the fresh one, and just, but again, organic, wild. So, and you can have it even in winter. It's totally fine, but it's not necessary. So Your cells prefer kind of fat and then maybe glucose as their main fuel. So without enough of it, your body goes into the stress mode. So and when you're in stress, your body actually breaks down its own protein. So from muscle, skin, even hair. So to make energy. It's not good. So prioritize fat instead of carbohydrates. So carbohydrates, I mentioned, it's about fruit, but carbohydrates we have even in dairy. That's the glucose and galactose. So unfortunately, dairy it's on the edge. It's from the animals, it's great, but we should at least have the fermented stuff. Or milk, I would recommend raw milk, fresh milk, not the one that you're buying in the store. There's no milk, that's just water. So with some chemicals, so don't. But if it is fresh raw milk, go for it. But still, even that has the carbs, has the sugar, and has the protein that we don't break down very easily unless it's A2 protein. And you can get it it's quite common now that you have even cheese and everything from A2 milk, which is good, but there is still the sugar. Unfortunately, I know it's not about being picky. I have cheese sometimes, but I take the cheese that's from raw milk and I actually digesting that much better, or I have the A2 protein. But I don't have it much often because my body's still reacting to it a little bit. So, and it's forming the phlegm, the mucus, especially in my nose. And it's really nasty to get rid of that. So I'm very careful about it. But if you don't have issue, go for it. Not a problem. So these foods provide the glucose, but vitamins, minerals that we need to actually metabolize that glucose into the energy, which is usually, the glucose metabolism, it's so complex. But if you don't have any glucose, which we can do, we don't need glucose at all in our diet because our body, it's very smart. And actually, it's getting that from fat in our liver. So don't worry if you don't have, even like if you have zero carb, zero glucose in your diet, you're totally fine. You're not going to die from it. And the body will create glucose from fat in the liver. So you're good. So, I'm talking about the carbs that is from like white bread, pastries, fries, soda. That's give you the sugar that actually strip away the nutrients that we need to use it. So it's like giving your body gas with no engine oil. So eventually the things start breaking down. So next time you feel guilty for eating fruit, remember they're not the enemy. In fact, they might be exactly what your skin and hair are craving. Fine. Berries, go for it. So, but about the nutrients, it's great. We need nutrients, but we need even the wellness. And it's about relax, restore, and recover. So let's take a breath here because this next part is huge. Stress. Think about it. Have you ever noticed a skin breakout right after a stressful event? Or maybe your hair seemed to thin after a tough period in your life? That's no coincidence. Stress hormones like cortisol literally steal nutrients and energy away from your skin, hair, and nails. Your body says, forget beauty, I'm in survival mode right now. And it's true. right? The body, when it's working on the stress, it's actually already stressful for the body. So it cannot work on anything else. So it's just, okay, this one, or it's going on the side. I need to work on this now. So just that you know how is it working. So here is what happens. Cortisol breaks down protein in your tissues. Stress lowering thyroid function. Stress triggers insulin resistance. The result? Your skin dulls, your nails weaken, your hair falls out, unfortunately. So what do we do about it? First, again, nutrients is the fundamental. That's the really foundation of everything. We need to have enough magnesium, especially women, for sure. Magnesium, vitamin B6, vitamin A, they all calm cortisol. So go for it. Second, adaptogens, which is kind of like the medicinal mushroom, or ginseng, or rhodiola, or if you can handle ashwagandha, why not? But that's the tricky one, even rhodiola. I think that I mentioned it in one of previous episodes. It's ashwagandha rhodiola works on me totally in the opposite way. So everybody's different. But that's all help your body adapt to stress. And third, it's a lifestyle. Walking, yoga, deep breathing, laughter. Yes, even laughter is medicine. And that's a huge medicine. Laugh at anything, even at yourself. When you mess up something and so on, instead of like, say, really, you are, just, I'm always laughing at myself when something happens. Like, it's not the end of the world. I'm still alive. I'm still healthy. So nothing wrong. So, but I'll tell you a quick story again from my experience with my client. So a woman I work with was under chronic stress, caregiving for her parents, managing and demanding job, running on caffeine and adrenaline. Her hair was thinning really fast. We added rhodiola, taught her simple breathing exercises, and made sure she had protein and breakfast. Within weeks, she said not only was her hair loss slowing, but she felt calmer, more resilient. Stress is real, but so is recovery. And your body is waiting for that signal to repair itself. I would like to remind you, stress is silent killer. That's how we call it in holistic world. You don't need to feel it. It's just bang. And sometimes it's too late. So work on that. Avoid these scenarios and try to actually live preventively. Then I would like to mention now what nutrients are really, really good for the skin, hair, and nails, like generally, and give you a little bit like the practical side of that, and nutrients that we cannot ignore. So, vitamin A regulates skin cell growth. Think like liver. If you're vegetarian, grab the carrots, but just remember there is a lot of sugar. So there is vitamin A, but the sugar kind of deplete. That's why we cannot actually absorb from plants much, because there is so much glucose. Vitamin C builds collagen. Papaya is a good one. It's even good for the digestion. But what I usually recommend vitamin C, grab the acerola cherry powder or in capsules if you want, but powder is fine. You can just mix it with some protein and so on. But vitamin C, if you want from some fruit or berries, then sea buckthorn. There is so much vitamin C. that even the birds don't eat it. It's so sour. And then, of course, gooseberry. It's good. And another natural one, it's amla amla. And that's really nice one too. But all it's very sour. So when you get the powders, just that you are aware of that. But acerola cherry, when you get powder, and there is usually a little scoop, and I think that it's like quarter of teaspoon of acerola cherry powder, and you're getting 900 milligrams vitamin C. Natural. This is natural. It's freeze dry acerola cherry. Nothing else. It's incredible. So you're really getting from that little amount, you're getting so much. And that's actually good vitamin C that you can actually absorb. It's not going to just flush out. When you're buying vitamin C, even liposomal vitamin C, all this in the supplement that's synthetic, you're just wasting your money. Like, honestly, you are wasting your money. It's not going to help unless you're taking like 10,000 milligrams, even more. And that's usually causing what? Some digestive issues. So I always recommend go the natural way for sure. Vitamin C we need for collagen, even the absorption of collagen. So when you're buying collagen, always try to take actually with vitamin C. So that's why when you have the acerola cherry powder and you have some like milk protein or bone broth protein or anything like that, adding collagen and the vitamin C together. Some collagens I know they have even L-tryptophan and so on, but L-tryptophan needs B6. So if it is not there, it's not going to work for your mood and so on. But it's usually with vitamin C added, but it's usually the synthetic one, ascorbic acid, and it's not like the best option, but at least it's there for absorption. Silicone we need. That strengthens hair and nails. So you can get it actually in supplements also, but again, gelatin, it's a good one. You know, if you want from veggie, then it's root veggie, cucumber, they all have silicone. I have one product that I'm actually, I was taking that as an experiment. It's from Belgium, but you can get it even here in Canada. But wow, I was surprised. That's really, really studied, clinically studied, that they proved that after 4 weeks, you will see the results. Especially first, you see the nails like I did. My nails, I don't have issue with nails. They're strong enough, but when these were even stronger, they grew so fast. Then skin was glowing even more than it is normally, and then the hair. So, but silicone is a good one too. Biotin is the B7, and that's good for the hair, nails, and you can get it in eggs and liver for sure. Vitamin B2 and B3, it's good for scalp healthy and energy, so you will find in meats, fish, especially so like wild-caught salmon. Then vitamin B6, that restores skin and hair, supports mood, and you can get it from poultry, again, red meat like beef, bison. And then another one is iron, prevents brittle nails and hair loss. Where you get it? Liver, a lot of there, or kind of like liver. So zinc heals skin, prevents white spot on nails. You'll find it in oysters, and if you vegetarian, pumpkin seeds. There is plenty. Just quarter cup a day. Magnesium relaxes the body and stabilizes elastin in skin. Found in leafy greens. Chocolate. I would recommend chocolate. Leafy greens, again, we don't absorb much, so I think it's not necessary. You would have to I don't know how much you would have to eat. But chocolate is a good option, but always check that it's really dark one and that's tested for heavy metals and other stuff that can be in chocolate. So it's not that easy with chocolate actually. So always try to get the ceremonial chocolate, and I like the ones from South America because there is not hot, there is not like too cold in winter. So there is kind of like good one, like from Ecuador and so on. It's really nice one. So why not? But magnesium you can get actually naturally, and that's if you have like water that actually contains magnesium naturally. Like in my home town, we have that. There is even a lot of iron, so I know I can get it from that. But if not, then you need to supplement. You need to supplement magnesium, and the magnesium glycinate, it's the best option because it doesn't irritate your stomach, so there are no GI issues, and it works quite well. But women needs really a lot of magnesium. So iodine, selenium, again, it's very essential for the thyroid, which we know ties directly into beauty. And I already mentioned where you find it. So it's not that difficult at all. So now I don't want this sound to really overwhelming. It's not. You don't need to take actually any supplement. You find everything from food. So it can, when you know the key players, you can choose foods with purpose. So that's all about that. That's just holistic nutrition. So, but I have some fun thing. Build a beauty bowl, maybe a roasted, some like pumpkin seeds, boiled egg, and that's vitamin A, C, iron, zinc, biotin, protein in one delicious meal. Add some boiled cod salmon with that. Add even some little saffron. It's not about like beauty, but it's good for the brain and eyes. And there is plenty vitamin A. So it is. So I love scrambled eggs with saffron. So now let's be real. Life is busy. I totally understand. We cannot always cook perfect meals or track every nutrient. So that's where smart supplementation can help. I'm not totally against that, but for me, supplements are always the last resource to go for. So you can get like liquid kelp extract with iodine, formulas that include selenium, biotin, vitamin C, magnesium. These can accelerate recovery, especially if you're already struggling with hair loss or brittle nails. But for me, the best thing you can get actually with all of these, just grab the beef organs. That's not even supplements, but you get everything in there. And some good cheese from raw milk from New Zealand, for example, grass-fed butter from New Zealand, and you're getting even the iodine. So there is the option, and quite simple. So most of people notice changes within like 30 to 90 days. It depends on your preconditions, and hair shedding slow, nails stop breaking, skin feels smoother, and along with that, more energy, better sleep, and just feeling more like yourself. That's usually the first good symptom. So here is the key. Supplements are there to support you, not replace a wholesome diet. Never. So think of them as a bridge, giving your body what it needs while you build better habits. Okay, because I know changing diet, eliminate so many foods and ingredients and everything that you used to take, it can be very overwhelming. And I usually recommend to my clients, okay, just start one by one. Start really, we have the whole program how to kind of introduce or eliminate these foods that are harming or they are good. They really give me everything what they have. And in my consultation, it's even that I'm going to their fridge and pantry and just see what they have there. Because it's not about that I don't trust them, but I just want to see that and I'm going to take out what's not good at that moment for them. Because if they want to get rid of inflammation and so on, they need to eliminate the foods that they have to. So if they like it, sorry. So that's why I am having clients that they really determined to change. They are willing to change and they're going to do anything to get better, to get healthier and feel better. So that's my process. But that's kind of like aside. But I know, that's why I know that can be overwhelming, can be, shocking even. I know one of the clients, she even cried and she said, "Oh my gosh, like what you're telling me, it's like, I feel like I've been lied all my life. They told me to do this and that, and look at me now. I'm like, I feel like I'm in pain, and it's actually causing even more and more, like worse symptoms and everything." So I was like, I know, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. All what I'm saying is based on science and studies. And if they are interested, I can give them the studies. I'm saving everything what I'm talking about. So, and she was really overwhelmed. So at that point, when I saw that, I was like, okay, here it's not the time to do like the food much, just a little bit, but I had to have focus on the wellness side. So I recommended her some like meditation, yoga, and so on. We did that at the beginning together because she really trusted me, and I think maybe only me, right? Because what she heard, she was like confused, she was shocked. So I told her, anytime you need, just let me know. We can do it online. And even meditation, breathing exercise that I see if you're doing that correctly and everything. And it was actually fun. She started to like it so much. And she really felt support from me. And that actually satisfied me so much that I went beyond. And that not only for her, I'm usually going beyond. That's what I love. So I don't mind. But yeah. And I have to say, like, about it took a little bit longer because she wasn't able to change the food like for 4 weeks much, just a little bit. Then I went to her house and checked the fridge and the pantry, and I started to select the stuff that's not good for her at that moment. So, but then, like, I believe like 2-3 months, and she started to feel very, very good. So, and that's what I love to see. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? So I don't want the millions for it. So I'm just doing that because it makes me happy. I'm so grateful for my clients. So I'm going beyond and I'm happy for them and I'm happy for the outcomes because they usually very good. So if you think that it's like that is too many information, just go and listen that again. Or I will even put some resources to the description for sure. There are some amazing naturopath doctors that they wrote the books about it and that might help you. So go for it or just call me, text me, and we can talk about it together. But now I would like to pause for a moment and reflect today's episode. So we have covered a lot today. From the raw materials of your skin, hair, and nails, to the protein that builds them, to the thyroid that powers them, to the carbs, fat that fuel them, to the stress that can unravel them, and finally to nutrients that restore them. So here is the big takeaway. Your outer body is a reflection of your inner health. And you have so much more power than you think to change that. It's just here. You need to change that here. So I invite you, start small, add an extra source of protein for sure. Remember 1 or 1.2 grams per kilograms of your weight. Swap out processed oils for butter or olive oil. Drink filtered water. Eat more fat. And if you want to add fruit, just eat more nice organic wild berries and laugh a lot. Laugh a lot. It will help you so much. So, because every choice is a message to your body, I'm ready to heal. Listen to your body, please. The body really gives you the signal, gives you the messages all the time. So listen to that and you will be just fine. If you needed help, I'm here for you guys. My websites are in the notes of the episode. It's vegasoulnutrition.com. Read it over, what I'm offering, and we can try to work on it. I'm here for you. That's all I do. And I'm so, so grateful for doing that. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found the episode helpful, share it with a friend who might need a little encouragement. And remember, beauty really does begin from the inside out. Until the next time, take care of yourself and let your health shine through your skin, your hair, and your nails. I thank you and I'm so grateful for your support, that you're watching, listening, sharing, that the podcast exists, that gives you good information and you can get some education about your body, your mind, spirit, and soul all together. That's the holistic nutrition about. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I love you. Bye.